Hello, everybody, and welcome back to K2SE Fantastic Mr. Ghost. Whoa! Look at this. Okay, like I said last episode, oh, look, we got some trains coming in here. It's easier to put this in place and then explain it. And I've had to work a lot of kinks out of it, and a lot of it is, like I said, with the logistics part. Trying to figure out, well, what do I need to do to get this all to work with, you know, rockets, because training stuff, it's easy, I could train stuff all day. But yeah, this one is the interplanetary. It takes a little bit to get used to, but I'm really getting a kick out of it. So what I have here is the Vulcanite coming in via rocket, and I'm filtering the enriched Vulcanite and the crushed. As you can see, I got 7,700 in here right now, and we are cooking along. And let's see here. I'm gonna expand this, but I'm gonna wait for everything to calm down. And I've added to it. I only had the one build I had last episode was just kind of, I was bound. I need to start somewhere, right? Well, what I'm doing now is I'm prodding up everything, and except for this one, and that's the furnace here. Now I'm gonna prod 100% prod the furnace. And I'm going to put 2 or 3 down for the fueling here. And then when it comes to the science, I'll probably just keep it to 1, I think. Or maybe I'll do 2 because I'm prodding it all 100%. So actually what I should do is go in here. I think I have it under here. I should put, yeah, here. I'm going to take that out and put this in. Yeah, 5. And so that changes this to 2, yeah. So that makes sense, right? Because what I'm experiencing here is this gets starved out, or it gets starved out at the end. Now, the reason you want to max out the prod here and then, use more machines. In fact, I think I got to put, where are the? Oh, I don't have do I have pyroflux in here? I don't think I do. But yeah, even then, I might want to do this too. Even though it's going to increase the footprint by a massive amount. Because you want to get, for every rocket you have to deal with, you want the maximum you can in prod. Because then you're, because this is fuel here, and then it's also research. The more you can minimize fuel costs, the better. Yeah, and that's one of the big things I'll go over here. So, yeah, prod all the way. On some things, though, to keep the footprint down, I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do speed and prod, But there's some things I don't really care about too much. So, I'm bringing in a gasoline train, and then there's a triple stop here. Sulfur, iron, coal. And then got the oxygen here. This is overbuilt, I think. But once I add another one of these refineries here, furnace, then I'll probably utilize that. And then I'm bringing in a stone train as a supplement to sand. Now, I did experiment bringing a rocket of just Vulcanite ore, and it was a big bust, and I kind of knew it was going to happen, but I had to try it. The problem is that, yeah, it's compression. You want to, put as much as you can on the rocket before, and then send it. So it makes sense to crush it on site and then send it here. And then the landfill is working out really well. God, these meteors. This landfill thing is working really well. So I was kind of like, once I thought about this, then I was like, oh yeah, this is what we do here. So we'll get back to this planet in a second here. So let's go over this thing. Now, what I have here through debugging and testing and watching this thing work, I have the enriched coming from the planet. Now, I should showcase this. If we mouse over a full rocket silo, here's 8, it says 799. So, because of that observation, I set this this mini loader, I should say, to 800. So what that's doing is it's clearing this case out, and we want to consume the enriched from the rocket first before we start running this, what I call the Coverex process. Because this Coverex process will chew up our crushed Vulcanite really fast. And, you know, you can mouse over this thing and you'll see it just starts going boop, 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 boop. it chews it up pretty good. So we want the crushed vulcanite to, for this more than anything, the cube or the block. After the rocket, after our freebies are gone, then yeah, we got to run this thing. And the problem is that we're losing, we put 10 in, we get 4 out. So we're losing 4 or 6 on that craft, right? And then when it comes to this thing here, we need 10 enriched vulcanite. We only get 4 from this Kovrex process here. So it's 2.5 crafts, which is 6, 6, and I think 3. So it's 15. So it takes 15 crushed vulcanite to get 10. On top of that, so that 4 is gone. So I think it's like 11 at that point. So we're losing 11. Then we're losing an extra here for 5. You know, well, we're losing 5. So I think it's like 16 vulcanite. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. So that's why we want to consume this first and foremost, and we want to prioritize it. And the way I prioritize it is I shut this off. This mini loader here, which is the input from all this Vulcanite Kovrex process here. Oh, oops, the wrong one. I shut this off at 50 to allow that consumption to occur. And then when it gets down to, you know, when it gets down to 0 or 50, then this kicks on. And then the supplemental sand thing here, I'm just side loading onto this belt here. And then as you can see, I got 1 sand in right now. But the sand has to clear off of the belt first from the stone processing down here. I'm shutting this off if there's any sand in that case. So that's how I clear the sand out from there. So now it kicks on. Let's see, it'll kick on. Oh, there's 7 in there now. So as soon as these inserters start pulling off the belt, then this will start to run. It's kind of hard to see with the shadow there, but there is 12 now. So that's how we get rid of the sand. And I expanded this because when I fully prodded this one up, I can run more off of this one furnace here, but the problem is I can't fully prod it, and these won't run. But I'm okay with it the way it is right now. And then we got the fuel here, the rocket fuel, solid rocket fuel here. And as you can see, it's kind of, not really able to run a full one of these. But once I get 2 of these cubes in, the cube makers here, then I'll be able to run all of these here. And, you know, the hell mod is showing that. Now, for the fuel. So, I'm transporting the pipe. I'm piping it over here. Instead of belting the rocket fuel, it's easier to pipe it. Less material. And it pipes right on in here with a pump because I don't want that to backfill. And with the fuel, 53,000 in there. Now, I could pipe it up here directly, but like I said, I might redo this whole thing someday, and it's good to have, you know, you want things mobile. You don't want to tie them up on that kind of stuff. So 47,000 in there. Holy cripes. Now, let's get to this thing. I've made some adjustments to this, and I forgot about this crap, and I'm kicking myself. We have a stacking capability, so we take 5 rocket parts and put them in, you know, and compress them into 1. So it's 5 of these, and I'm completely filling this up. Not really, not completely, but look at this. Holy crap. That's a lot of rocket parts. Now, I have to mask out some little rockets here because what I've found, less rocket launches, more product, right? So we're min-maxing. This is where I'm starting to min-max it. I had to figure it out, learn it, what's going on, how's this working? Okay, oh, I see these problems. So what I'm trying to get to the min-maxing part here, which is really fun, actually. I got some numbers here for you. I'm going to read them off. We'll close this thing. I'm totally kicking myself that I forgot this thing. Oh, is this thing? Oh, yeah, I got to get over here. And this is the cryonite one. I'm redoing it based on what I have here. So I just got to get this squared away first. I have a splitter here because this rocket is the fuel And you can see I got 5,000. So I'm going with the full rockets of fuel and full rockets to a certain degree of rocket parts. And it's you're gonna freak out on this thing. Oh, the Pyroflux build. Let me go over that. I did a little test on. I didn't connect what I do. Oh, I have this belt here that I have. I put a case here, and I waited for a rocket to come in, and I counted how many rocket pieces I get. Now, at the time, I got 1,448. And then I went at this belt here. It'll collect a bunch of crushed Vulcanite here. I scooped it off to see what a full rocket will provide. Oh, look, there it is. We just got a rocket in. Holy cow, check it out. That just showed up. Wish we could have saw that coming in. So see how it's filling up here now. And yeah, it was 799 in that. So this thing is just running and running and running. And look at my pollution now. Holy crap. I had to go out and kill a couple biters. That's the pollution cloud. Because this thing has just been running and running. 1,548 is what I found. And that's before I think I added a bunch of productivity. I think I had 1 speed and 2 prod. So it's 1,548. But I think I increased the prod on those. Now I should, like I said, I should be putting 100% prod in here and going with a bigger footprint. And I'm okay with that. Bigger footprint is fine, but we need that prod. Every little bit of productivity we can get is important because these rockets are expensive. And what happens is you end up spending more fuel to get the fuel. So you're in a negative constantly. And then we're just waiting and waiting and waiting because the stone to sand to fuel basically is ridiculously slow. You just can't do it. Oh, and that equates to how much Pyroflux. If for 1,548, it's 77,400. But with all the prod, I think it's higher number. I'm pretty sure it's higher. I don't know. I have to look at it again. But if I went with 1,448, it's 72,400 fuel, rocket fuel. All right. Here is where this comes into play here. This one I have set to 400 times 5. That's 2,000 rocket parts. That equates to 20 rocket launches, right? So 20 rocket launches means that I'm going to have when this rocket launches, I need to also pad in these little rockets, these suckers, because I won't be able to send rockets from the planet that has the Vulcanite without these capsules. So I need to pad these in. So that's what that is. And oh, I didn't realize, well, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I need to leave these 2 open because that the mod masks these and it wiped them out. So when the rocket is loaded with everything, the rocket sections and the one little space capsule there, it was wiping out my mask. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I had to put the 2 slots here. Now I have a 24 is what I'm loading in here, 24, because it's going to be 4 fuel rockets to 1 of these rockets here with the rocket sections. So I get just over, it's like 4.5 rocket launches with this rocket here to that planet. And if we go here to the surface and you look at the fuel, I'm taking this 55,000, I rounded up to 56, and I divided that by let's see, 56,000. Oh yeah, so 5,000 times 50 is 250,000 fuel, and then I divided that by 56,000. I got 4.46 rocket launches. So that's one. So each time that fuel rocket comes here, I have to spend 120,000 rounded up to get this fuel here. Then what I'm getting is 4.46 launches from that fuel. And then with one rocket, with the compressed rocket sections, I get 20 rocket launches out of that. So that I've reduced the cost of transporting this stuff around by a huge amount by doing the compression. Like I said, I totally forgot about it. Now, don't forget, also, we get a recovery. So in here, I have 467 compressed rocket launch or rocket parts And here is the uncompressor right here. Now, another thing too, we do get some recovery, right? So you have to have room in here for recovery. And I screwed up, and I had the wrong. I forgot to change the signal on a commutator. I'll show you that. And I actually overloaded this right here, and it had like a couple pieces in here, and I had to use this stack filter to remove them so the fuel rocket would launch, because I ran out of fuel, and then I was like, oh crap, it won't launch because of this. So I had to temporarily. Luckily, I had this here, so I could offload it. Otherwise, I would have had to go to the planet and remove this crap so the rocket would launch. You can manually launch it, but then you lose fuel, and I don't know if it crashes completely or what. So this one's filling up currently right now because it just sent. And so yeah, this is the decompression here. It takes 5 and turns it into 1, and then I have 22 little rockets in there. Now I had to I had a damn meteor hit here. So I put a RoboPort in and repair packs. And of course another meteor hits here. Son of a beehive. I gotta put some, I guess, protection over here too. What a pain in the ass. And I got this here. I got 4 here now. The meteor protection. And mainly, you know, you might as well beef it up because then I don't have to come back here. As you can see now, I have to come back, you know. So anyway, now let me make sure I got everything covered here. So yeah, 20 rocket launches for that, for the pieces. That's what it, you know, and then we get a little bit of recover too. So it's actually a little more. And then 24, yeah, 4.46 launches. And I think I've got it all covered on that. So yeah, we got to min-max the rocket launches to get the most fuel back. Okay, now, the cryonite. So I wanted to cover that. I got 96,000 cryonite rods, and it takes 6 rods per science to create. But we do get productivity in our labs. So what I calculated was 16,000 science, but I think it's like 24% prod or something, or 30% prod. So 1.3% times 16,000, I think, is what we'll get from that. I think it's what we have to do. So we get more bang for our buck on those rocket launches. Prod is the way to go to minimize those rocket launches there. Okay, so let's go over a little bit of the combinator stuff I've got going on here. Oh, here's alt mode. All right. Oh, and then it takes 120,000, like I said, 120,000 fuel to launch this rocket. But we get 4.5 out of that, so we don't have to launch this every time, you know, which is good. So I'm going by if barrels are 0 here. Send a rocket when we get down to 0. And then on this one, this is where I screwed up. I forgot to change the signal, and it launched a rocket before it was complete. I was like, what happened? Why did it do that? Well, because I didn't have this set. So this is 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So you have to have 20, which is 100. And it has to be less than 20. So that would mean it's 95. And then this rocket will send. And I forgot to put this cargo rocket section packed in there. I was reading the other one, so I went ahead and changed that to this too. This commutator here, or decider, yeah. Yeah, that's where I screwed up. I thought I thought it would work. I didn't think it would not work. It never crossed my mind. But because it's unpacking, and it takes a while to unpack and load them in, this rocket was like, oh, we have less than 100. Send it quick. So it sent it, and I was like, oh, crap, that's wrong. So I got to wait till we're down to 19 of the sections there, and then it'll send a rocket. And there's plenty of room in that thing, in the launch pad, or not the launch pad, but the case, to accept all that. So this is the cryonite rod one. This is cryonite to supply fuel and rocket sections, and then, of course, it'll be, launched to here. We got 29,000 in there right now, so that's good. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I was running out of steel. I don't know, are these still running? Yeah, yeah, these are all running still. Okay, good. I had another damn meteor. I didn't even know it. I must have walked off or something. A damn meteor hit my green, this here, somewhere. Oh, yeah, it hit right here. And it completely shut off some belts. destroyed some belts. So I think this red circuit thing ran out, and then my low density my rocket control units stopped being produced. I was like, what the hell? So I ran over there, and I'm like, I didn't even know it. I just so happened to see it. I was like, you son of a bitch. So what do we got? 122,000. There we go. We're cranking along there. And then we've got 16,000 left in there. So we're all good. I hope that we are done. Oh, and I got to fill this rocket up. What I did is I unloaded the fuel to speed up the process, but I'll load this back up. This is my personal rocket anyway. All right. Let's go down to... Oh, another thing I did off screen is I got to beef up power a little more. But I completely mined this one out because our stone consumption is going way up now. But that should go down with the pyroflux or the rocket fuel from pyroflux. And then I beefed up iron, if I can find it. Here we go. There it is. I added more miners to iron because I was it was kind of struggling. I hadn't gotten around to it yet, and I'm like, oh crap. But with this thing running, with the rocket sections and the compression, holy crap, this thing's been running and running and running. It's been crazy. All right, let's head down to the base over here. And we'll see. Look at these things going. Love seeing all these things moving. It's Factorio, baby. Let's go. We'll head down to the base here. All right, I did a thing. We're gonna do a speed up video on hooking this up here. This is the first. It's actually material that we need for the other two science packs here. The production science pack and the utility. So what I have here. Yeah, prod and efficiency, and we'll do a speed up video on hooking this up, like I said. And let's go over the Hellmod stuff here. But well, yeah, we'll go over Hellmod in a set. Oh yeah, let's do that now. Yeah, because I found out that I thought I'd try this out, and it worked out pretty well. I have computing by element for this one because there's no byproducts. You need the matrix solver for byproducts mainly, and that I had to use it on this one, which I'll showcase in a second. So what we have here is 4.01 and 3 on our two modules that we need. And let's see here. So we got some shared stuff. That's why I decided to make it all at once here. The only difference here, we got the green circuits and the electronic components, and then the glass and the wire are the different little nuances here. So I got it all in here, and it worked out really well putting these two recipes in here. It helped to resolve the this part here. Why is that 367, I wonder? 367? Oh, yeah, 4. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, kind of cool little build I came up with. So the train loading is going to be here, and the pickup's going to be over here for the modules. And the train can come in from either way. Whichever way it's coming in, I'll have an LTN stop pick off over here to pick up, and then the unloading will be here. So I got the stone, green circuits, copper plate, and the plastic bars. So the stone will come over here, get crushed into sand, goes to the glass here, and then it goes underground and over here to supply the quartz. And it just so happens that the quartz it's a 1-to-1 quartz to silicon, and then from the silicon to the electronic components, it's a 1-to-2. So and that's kind of the relationship that I got from Hellmod. So we got the plastic bars coming in here, undergrounded, and these long arms will pick the plastic up. It terminates. Copper comes down in here and loads into the copper cable machine there. And then green circuits come down and it splits here. And it side loads onto the belt here. And the copper cable goes on the outside of the belt. Green circuits go on the interior. And then this is the belt that will have those two items there. This belt here has the electronic components to finish off the efficiency modules. So now we'll go back to, let's see, green circuits, plastic. Let's see. Okay, this one is, that's the glass coming in. So the glass gets loaded on each one of these from this underground right here. And then it side loads onto this belt right here, which is the electronic components again. So they are on the outside, which turns out to be the inside when because it kind of flips it. The splitter will flip it for some reason. You know, it's just a way of the behavior. So the glass just side loads onto that right there. So the outside becomes the inside, which is actually the outside if you think about it. Kind of weird how it flips it around. Oh, I was testing it. I forgot to grab those pumps. There we go. So the glass loads on there, and then we have the green circuits right here. There we go. So the green circuits are on the outside belt here. And then I'm going to have a case here. You have to do 2 inserters, and you have to sense the amount you want in the case via 1 inserter. You can't mix them. You can't use 1 inserter for 2 things if you want to meter it in the case. So I have to have 2 belts for that. There might be other ways to do it. I don't know. But yeah, it's just simpler to do 1 case, 2 inserters, wire them up, done. And then LTN can come here. And because LTN has a combinator, we can use the arithmetic to do a count. And if both need to be picked up, 1 train will handle it. Or, you know, if either one, you know, LTN will pick up either one or both. So that will work out really well. A nice and compact design all in one kind of dealio. So let's go into Helmod here. And, yeah, so I think, I went over everything here. I got a glass build here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use these industrial furnaces. I think that if I use the industrial furnaces, I can use the pyroflux with it too. And that might help. So this is 1 full red belt of glass. And the sand is 1.62 belt. I'll probably do blue belt for that. And then a full belt almost of stone. So I might set this up near a stone patch and, you know, kick it off that way. I'll try and find one. And I don't know if I'm going to do a speed up video on this because it's just a straightforward build. It's not really that difficult. So I'll do that off screen. But I had to do that because we're going to need glass for this crap here. All right, so same situation. I put both packs in. I'm going to move that down. I put both of the packs in here, utility and prod. Now, what I found was that I'm going through this, and I go, oh, I need 2 space manufactories times 4. Oh, crap. I can only make those in space. Okay, I need to start writing this stuff down because I need to bring the materials up so I can build it up there, right? Because we're not just building science, we're building buildings now. So we need the buildings to build the buildings up in space. You cannot place these buildings on the surface here, you know, as we found. And so that as an additional challenge. Now, so I got to make sure I've got enough material to make all this stuff. And then when it comes to these supercomputers, again, I got to, you know, I put this all in here so I get an accurate count. So I got to have enough material for 14 of these things, all right? Then I got another space manufacturing. That's 2 I need there. I need decontamination facilities. So I need 7 of those. And there's also this guy right here. I need 3 of the thermal radiators, which have to be built up in space. I think these biochemical facilities also have to be built up in space. I think I have like 1 or 2 of these. I can't remember. And so that is that. I had to put the mining ops in here because Helmod was telling me that I needed 1,300 of these centrifuges because it was taking the stone and the iron in there. So there's a couple things I might have forgotten in here. So I'm going to, well, there's this stuff here. You got contaminated biosludge. And then you got to take care of that. I think, yeah, so what is this? Contaminated cosmic water, yeah. That comes out of one of the processes. And then here it is right here. Contaminated. Oh, and the rough data storage substrate is going to be done on the planet here. That's why, you know, look at this. Oh, my God. Holy cripes. This is to do a lot of science, though, so... But I'm gonna try and get it done. I mean, if it doesn't run perfectly, you know, whatever. So we got almost a full red belt of iron just for this thing. And we get scrap out of it. If we crush the scrap down, we're going to get heavy oil and all that other crap. I'm going to try and save this heavy oil, though, and send it up to space, because we got to barrel that up and bring it up. So there's a lot we have to do here. Here's our little thing here. See, it's 2. Yeah, okay, I think I mentioned that. Yeah, so heavy oil right here. So I need to, when the scrap is reprocessed, I'm going to keep that heavy oil up in space and down here. I'm going to barrel it up and bring it up because we're gonna need it for we can't make we need the biochemical facility up on the platform there, and then we don't need much, but it's it's gonna be consistent when we're running the research. And then we got this plasma crap here, plasma beam or chemical gel, and then so we gotta send gasoline barrels up into space, combine it with our cosmic water, and we get the chemical gel. So it's another little thing. So we got heavy oil barreling, gasoline barreling, and we got to get the substrate up there. So we'll just start chipping away at this stuff here. And the first thing we want to do is this. So let's get started. Oh my gosh, I'm talking so much, but there's a lot to go over right now because, we're getting into new, it's all new territory here. All right, let's get cracking on those modules. Okay, so I've got 4 stack inserters here, stack inserters and 1 red mini loader, which is equivalent to how many? That's 4 stack inserters. Now I have a stack inserter bonus of 6, I think, but the mini loader mod, it says override stack size, which I don't know why it's doing that. I don't want to override it. It's saying 2, which is weird. So if you go to bonuses, I never noticed this before. Oh, wait, that's Factorio 2. Oh, I didn't know that. Tips and tricks? Oh, that's where tips and tricks are. Oh, this is all the Factorio-based stuff, and Factorio's in there. I didn't know that. I thought that was the research, or I don't know. Well, I don't know what it was. I never click on that. I don't click on achievements anymore, trains, because I got LTN and all that. Anyway, so here, the inserter bonus is 1. The stack is 5. So I don't understand why it's saying, 2. Well, it's 2. I don't want to override it. So I think these run at the speed of the belt, So I think that's the case there. Anyway, so I put in a blue belt here. That's blue belt. And a blue splitter, fast, was it an express splitter? That way the sand will export quickly. I didn't look at hell mod. I usually sometimes I forget to look at hell mod and how much I'm getting out. But that the sand wasn't getting all the way down to the end of the belt. Plus I only had 2 fast inserters here. I just throw stuff in just to get the connections and stuff, and then I see, oh yeah, I should have done that. This, that, and the other. So stone's coming in this way. I just routed the belt a little shorter there. And then we've got obviously the plastic copper green circuits there. I had to hook the water up. I forgot about that. And let's see. This all worked really well. It actually, I think I had a little more production than I needed. And once the machines buffered up, it ran pretty good. Over here, I have to use these. These are the fast filter. I don't need any. I don't need the blue ones here, but you need to put the filter in the front, and it'll. You want to shut those off when the train has the amount of material, so you'll get a little extra material in the train because of that. Now, you have to do a lock slots per wagon 2 here. I was talking about that. And I've just got to provide threshold of 50. And I have 100 of each one in there. I might increase that. So I think that's it there. Now this thing right here, what I did is I went to a spot here. And I copied it and removed some of the stuff I didn't need. And so I have here 3 items. And you have to have stack filter inserters here. And they're a set filter. So when LTN comes along, this combinator outputs what's requested. So if all 3 items are requested, then, oh, and I got to do this here. I got to put 3 here, just in case. So 50 provide threshold. And oh, the same thing. It's a 111 train, limit 1 train at a time, and then provide is 50. So this would be for the hub, or if there's something else that comes up I need this crap for, it's here. So that is done there as well. I set up now it's gonna be a lot easier loading with trains because I needed a combinator for arithmetic combinator for every item on a belt, right? So if I do dual belt, 2-sided belt, that would be, I could do, I think it's 4, yeah, I could do a combinator for 4 items, and I have to, sense, so I have to have an arithmetic and a combinator with set to 4 items, because, you could do 2 belts at a time. Anything more than that, it's going to delay it. So I decided to just split it up. Well, in this case, it's going to be such fast loading because I have 6 stack filter inserters on this thing. It's going to go fop, fop, rop, rop. It's going to load quick. Very quick. A lot quicker than what I had before. Ugh, I hate that sound. So yeah, this will be fine, I think. And I forgot, I have the transmitter, a receiver here, hooked up to the back of the arithmetic, and this, negates the signal from there. But I forgot to connect the rocket, so we have to take into account what we've consumed up in space, and then offset it to what we have in the rocket. Now, when the rocket launches, it's going to be, there's going to be a surge, so it's going to start loading crap, but it'll balance out. It comes out in the wash, as I always say, or as I say. And so we might get some extra material in here if we have material in the case, which we will. But this is the positive number, and this is the negative number here from both the rocket silo and what's in space. And then we load based on what's present on the red wire there. So the cryonite here is I'm gonna belt that up here, and I'm gonna have, I'm just gonna wire up. I think I'm gonna wire up a stack filter here, or I could do a stack filter here for that. So I'll just belt right on up for the cryonite rod, and then I'll wire this to here, which I could do right now actually. I can wire that up there, and then we do set filters, and then cryonite rod will be in this one. Here it is right here. And what I'm going to do is 100, and what'll happen is, I think it'll be, this is what I want in space, so we can test this out right now. Let's go here. We'll pop over that way. We don't need anything fast on this belt here. Okay, and this will fill up the belt. So it should should work. So we'll get that going. See, yeah, we got 6 items per. So what it'll do, see how it's set the filter here? And once we get to 100 in the rocket, it should stop. There's 98, 102, and there we go. There it stopped. So now we've got 100 in the rocket. Now, I'm going to be going with a lot more than that because the science requires more. But I'll jostle that number later. I don't want to deal with it right now. So, now, there is a project that is coming up here. This, like I said, this was my test case stuff here. So I went into Hellmod, and I put in the space science and thought, you know what, I got to get all 3 because this is all going up into space. We have to have everything go up into space here. So I'm like, okay, I better add the space science in. That way, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do rocket fuel. I'm glad I saw that because this build right here has to be the rocket fuel as well as the Vulcanite block, as well as the pyroflux for the smelting, and that's going to be on this planet here, and then also rocket fuel. So we need to make the rocket fuel for not only space science, but for the rockets to fuel them up. I'm like, oh dear. So I'm in here and I'm like, okay, how is this going to work? You know, so I have the block here, and it's 2.7 now with full prod. I hope this is enough. Because I'm not factoring the rocket fueling into this. Now my assumption is that the rockets are going to fill up, and then we're done, right? So it's going to take away from production. So I might. Now here's the problem. I can't do one rocket to 2 platforms. You can do multiple rockets to 1 platform, but you can't do 1 rocket to multiple. That would be ideal. So all the Vulcanite processing has to be done in one spot, which sucks. I would love to take that 1 rocket and shoot it off to different locations. That way I could leave this here. So, because it's going to be too messy doing it all in one spot here. You know, the rocket fuel, the cryonite, and pyroflux and all that. So this is just, like I said, it was a test case to get things kind of figured out and how I'm going to go forward with it. So getting back into Hellmod here, I'm assuming that this is going to be for not only, it's going to be for the science here, which we only need 80 a minute, and this is producing 210. So that's not too bad. I think okay, here I have pyroflux here, and this is for the molten stuff that's going to go up into space as well. I hope I don't need 2 rockets for this stuff. Oh, here, this is the pyroflux, and we only need, that's 130 a minute just for the pyroflux. And that's 800? Wait a minute. Why is that 800 there? What is this? 15. Oh, it's 1500. Okay, so this one is 130, yeah. And then there is also this here. We need pyroflux. That's 720 a minute. And this is going to be 12 a minute for the rocket fuel. And if we go up to our space science, this should be also 12, yeah. So, yeah, when you mouse over it, that's how you can figure out if Hellmod's doing it right in a way, you know. And then we got to shoot up iron plate, copper plate, sulfur. We got to barrel up heavy oil. We got to, I'm going to do a, let's see here. In this tab here, heavy oil, craft. So we can recover some heavy oil from scrap. And I got to figure out, well, the stone can be obviously repurposed into the science, but the raw rare metals, I might have to burn those up because we don't have a use for that up in space, unless we do everything up in space from here on in and send materials up. But that's not really a feasible thing, I don't think. But the copper and iron we can smelt into plates and then just repurpose this ore. But we get this, heavy oil, and we're going to have scrap in space. So the heavy oil is it's actually nice to have that though. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do this recipe right here. And the heavy oil, well, we're going to crack the light into gas, and then we're going to train up the gas. And this one's going to be prioritized LTN. We're going to prioritize this in LTN, and we're going to barrel this up. and send it up to space. So that's how we're going to handle this crap. And then the heavy oil, a portion of that we're going to make into lubrication, barrel that up, send it up to space. And then we have, this one isn't unlocked yet. 85. Ooh, I like that one. That's the coal liquefaction. That's our good one. We're going to need this for sure for the lubrication. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to redesign this so that we get the cubes, the rocket fuel, and then I'm probably going to, yeah. Oh, over here, this is going to get disbanded as well. Now, remember I said it's good to be mobile? Well, here you go. So if I locked in that rocket fuel to this area, which is, you know, like I said, it's just a test area to get this whole thing figured out. Well, now all this can come out, and then we're going to have a Pyroflux version of this. And this, so the stone processing is going to go bye-bye. So I'm going to work on a build for this, and then we'll do a speed-up video on setting it up and getting it going, because that's the next thing. I'm going to train this stuff up here. So I think I can leave it, yeah, right here. I'm going to cut the belt. Wait a minute, not there. Here. Right here is where I'm going to draw this belt this way. And then these will curve over this way. I don't want to have to move stuff. And I'll have a train pickup here, an LTN train pickup. All right, let's get cracking on, I'm going to get cracking on this, and then we'll do a speed up video and hooking it up. Alright, episode's running a little long, so hopefully I can get through my summary here. So, here I did 2 builds, and the reason for that is this one is going to be for science, and the Pyroflux is on a train now. It's trainable. I have this case with, it's 500 and 410 for rocket fuel, and the Vulcanite block. So this is our science stuff here. The Pyroflux is going to be for the iron, making the liquid or molten irons that we can send up via barrels to the space, and then we'll create the ingots up in space. So we're gonna barrel this as well, and I think I might have to. I don't know if I should. I wasn't thinking, but I might have to barrel this on site here. But having the molten on train means that I can use it for other smelting, because we got glass and iron and copper and I think steel. We can do, well, if anything, iron plate, iron to steel, because our steel is really, that recipe's crap. We got to get a better one going. The reason I did 2 builds is because I can prioritize this here with the Vulcanite coming out. Oh, and there's another thing I had to do. I forgot. Oh, I need to resolve the rocket parts and the little thing here, the space capsule. I forgot that this damn thing is going to dump off the parts. So I have a stack filter inserter to bring it to a train, and this train is just a provider right here. And over here at the rocket site, and right here, I cut a train in. This is going to come out, and then I might pull off of this lane here and drive the train. I have the track here. So I got to get rid of this. All of it's gone. It's gone now. All of this is gone. I ripped it up, repurposed it. This is just cryonite only. I renamed it. So anyway, this is where I don't know if LTN would work. You got to wire up the LTN combinator, and this is I don't like doing this, but it's the only way I can think to do it right now. I'm requesting 2 rockets. Now I'm not making these. So if I have a pad somewhere and I'm receiving some product, what I have to do is bring it back here, and then it gets repurposed. And this is kind of leading to not tying my rocket parts, the rocket sections. I might not want to tie them to the silo like I'm doing here. I might want to train them around. So the idea that came about from that was you make these rocket sections, and then you package them up all at once, and then you train them out, and then you bring them to your different silos elsewhere. So that I was thinking about doing that after I started seeing, I'm kind of tied in here, because I'm big on, you got to get everything mobile so that you don't have to worry about when you move something, you're not tearing the whole you're not completely tearing things apart and screwing stuff up. So that's what I had to do here. So this is the recovery station. Now, TSM would be a better use for this, because TSM, you can have it operate on, there's product. As opposed to LTN, there's a constant request for it open. I don't like that, because I don't know if it's going to pull, some resources. Oh, and then the last thing I did in between cuts here was this. Where are you? Here you go. It's hard to see because it's dark. But I have this, I'm trying to think of, so I'm sensing this one here. I had to do a separate combinator for this, and then the yellow one. So these space data card tech cards, these are set up differently. What I'm doing is I'm loading. Oh yeah, so I'm loading based on. I want 200 in here right now. I'm gonna increase it though. So I want 200 in here, and of each card right now. I can change that. But on these inserters here freaked out because the issue was I had to use a stack filter, a counter, which is negating the signal, and a set amount. These were freaking out. They couldn't handle it. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I had to do a separate filtering here, a counter, and then I have to set filters, and then that's the set point that I want this into. And I think that'll work fine. Now this one, okay, the good thing about a provider is you don't have to have any signals here. That's why when you have a requester, you got to be careful because you have actually output signals that are negative or positive or whatever it is. So you got to be careful because the LTN combinator will interfere with whatever else you're wiring. So you got to use like a green wire for your LTN combinator as opposed to a red. That way you can keep the signals separate. So yeah, I can't remember exactly. These were freaking out and they couldn't operate, or I think I miswired something. But yeah, I think I wired accidentally to the combinator. I think I missed the decider somehow. I don't know. So the sciences are on the train, and I'm just going to use the starter base for a little while, and then eventually, slowly but surely, I'm going to start peeling stuff out of here. And like I said, this is the first thing that I had to do. I think I need electric motors for science, you know, for the blue belt. So I have to pull this out of here, and I had to look. So we got gear wheels, iron, and copper. Okay, so this one I was gonna do separately. This one's done now. I was gonna do a separate build on that because of the amount of gear wheels. I might put gear wheels on a train that way, because then I can have more. We need them for a lot of different things. That's why it's not just, you know, one thing. It would have been nice to put gear wheels on the train for this. So anyway, I'll work on trying to get a few more things pulled out of the starter base. That way we're not dependent on it as much. But everything went really well with this. Oh, the last thing I got to do, I'll do this off screen. I got to pull in. I gotta make a stop here for the rocket fuel. So that's the last thing I got to tie in. But this episode's running long. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. We're getting closer, you know, baby steps getting the next science. But I think this is a big, huge project now. It kind of sets the tone. It gave me a lot of good information, you know, by playing around with this and goofing with it, that now I can really, I feel more confident with the rockets now and trying to get stuff back and forth. So a lot of good stuff learned. All right. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.